Is there footage that you regret putting out?
Because people always said about Vlad, if you say it on camera and you ask for it to be removed, no, it's staying there. I've heard that. I don't know how accurate it is. I've heard that though.
I mean, it is and it isn't. I mean, you know, like, if you hit me about it before it comes out, there's a reasonable chance that I'll cut it.
Right.
Or
Okay.
I'll work with you and figure out what exactly needs to be cut and why.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, if it's already out and it's being embedded on other websites and everything else like that, you're gonna have a harder time with that. You know, and it's also like, what's the reason why you want it out? Is it because this could potentially cause a problem, or are you just a little bit embarrassed that you said it?
But the
You know what I
question
mean?
is, do you regret?
Do I regret? I can't think of anything, you know, aside from that Cal Dawson nonsense, you know, where it was just absolutely false. I regret that.
Yeah.
Because it was just fake. You
But
know what I
there's
mean?
nothing else that you feel like, okay, we did this interview and it's led to that and that led to that and that led.
No.
I wish I wouldn't have put
If I
this
could
out.
do it again, I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I probably would have passed on this whole thing.
Nah, I mean, listen, I mean, we don't interview porn stars anymore. You know, we don't interview reality stars anymore. We don't.
Why?
You know what I mean? Just because we feel like, you know, we want to highlight important stories or people with a certain high degree of talent. You know what I mean? Because the
Or
real
integrity.
Huh?
Or integrity.
Integrity. You know what I mean? It's something about the person or a level of success or a level of learning or something like that. And it's not just to get the views.
Because there was
you know,
a porn star claiming that Rihanna gave him the STD, right?
Yeah, I heard about that. That wasn't on our platform.
It's not on your platform.
No,
Nah,
it
that
was
just-
it was like a live video.
Yeah,
I think
that was-
Almighty
that was
J
wrong.
and I think Harley Dean, like a porn chick.
Yeah.
That wasn't on our shit. And look, like you have to. When the company is new, you're trying to figure out what works, and you're going for views, and you're going for that. You know, I mean, shit. We used to sell interviews. You could pay for a VLADTV interview in our early days. Now you can't do that.
Right.
You know, like the last paid interview was probably maybe 12 years ago. You know what I mean? Because at one point you just say, look, like, you know, you turn down. I mean, I've turned down $50,000 offers to do interviews, because it's like now, like you have to earn your place. Like we're not gonna take your money.
Right.
You know, I mean, you have to earn your place on here, because in the long run, people know when some shit's paid for.
Yeah.
And if you could pay your way onto something, it's not that valuable. You can't pay your
But
way.
a lot of the music industry came up through paying, though.
Well, yeah.
Whether radio spins, interviews.
Yeah.
It's.
Right.
I mean,
No,
it's
it's
way.
a
Come
thing.
on, Mac. Let's not play this.
It's a thing,
familiar-
right? But when you
Yeah, Mac, let's not play
Let's
this.
not play this.
I'm also familiar with the times when that wasn't a thing. When
Oh,
if you,
it's been. Dog.
Yeah, Mac.
hold on,
Let's not play this.
hold on, stop.
It's still a thing.
No. I never said it wasn't a thing. I said I'm very familiar with the times when it wasn't. When you couldn't pay to get on a certain platform
they've always
because
been
your
paying.
shit was trash. No, I've been in the rooms when the money's been turned down because the
Yeah.
dude was trash.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've done it.
Right.
So I can't speak for anybody else's level of integrity or anything else.
Math, did it happen 100% of the time?
No,
Math.
Don't let me talk for anybody else but me.
Math.
I know what I've done.
right, but you know, hold on.
How much does a hit single cost?
Oh, we're going to get into this 250
Yeah,
shit
like-
again? Come on,
All right,
man.
Okay, thank you.
Let me
Thank you.
let me just say this.
Alright,
Hold on.
Alright.
Let me just say this, right? For me, it's not really so much the integrity part, but more so of like when you're achieving a certain trying to achieve a certain level of greatness, you have to really treat it as so. Meaning, you can't buy a Jay-Z verse.
Right.
You can't buy a Kanye verse. You can't buy a J. Cole verse. You can't buy a Kendrick verse.
Right.
I'm sure they've gotten ridiculous offers from, you know, some prince in Dubai that wants to have a song with Jay-Z and is willing to pay $1 million for that fucking verse.
Right.
But there's a certain thing of like, yo, I'm going to turn down the quick money and the fast money because I'm trying to achieve a legacy and a level of greatness that will only be achieved if I focus on what I'm trying to focus on, and I know who I am, and I know what my brand is.
Right.
And that's the whole thing about the payola thing and everything else like that. I don't knock people. Like, you know, Boosie will do a verse for anybody. You know, I mean, we talked about that.
Yeah.
And he's okay with that. You know, and that's how he's choosing to do it. He hustles, his hustle for money is different than mine. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he approaches it a little bit differently.
Right.
And he will still go down as one of the greats, but having a bunch of songs with a bunch of bozos that clearly paid their way on is going to affect the perception
of who you are.
of who he is as an artist compared to a Jay-Z that doesn't have that bum ass
you can't
part
buy
of the
it.
catalog. You
can't
see what I'm
buy
saying?
it. Right.
I think that's
You
fair
can't
because
buy
that's
it.
the South system. Like Gucci Mane has a song with a bunch of young dudes we never heard. They all ended up becoming something, you know.
I think it's a testimony to your success because you turn down money when you don't need it.
Sometimes people turn it down because they believe in themselves differently too.
Or
They
you,
might-
turn it down
Right.
because you don't like where it's coming from.
That's
what's
true.
What's going
Right.
to end up on the back end.
So sometimes, like when it comes to artistry, especially, I feel like the people who accept money from anyone are the people who haven't made it to the point where they don't need to.
Well, it's different though.
Dig
See,
what I'm
well,
saying?
but this is what I'm saying. You look at a Boosie who has money, who has a lot of money.
He wants
Right.
more.
He just wants more. He wants to spoil his kids. He wants to give his niece $5,000
for the jump shot.
For the jump
The
shot.
game-winning shot.
He wants to give $50,000 to his daughter for graduating college.
Yeah.
He wants to buy his son a Jaguar and so forth. And that's his motivation.
And I
you
don't,
see what I'm saying?
I don't doubt that Jay-Z.
And I respect it.
I don't doubt that Jay-Z wants to do the same thing. It's just a different method.
But it's all a matter of where your integrity. Again, we back to integrity again. Heineken, I've come to you with clients. I've never paid you anything to interview the people who I've set in front of you. You either said yes or no, and it was either yes, I think he's dope, I'm gonna rock with him, or it was no, this ain't a good fit for me.
But you know why?
Keep it real, Heineken.
No.
Heineken.
Listen,
He can't say- and then what-
listen. It's a catch-22. Because there's certain things now rocking with Esso that I was ignorant to the business of. Why you gonna throw it on me? I'm in the back. So if we're gonna be honest on this camera, there's a lot of money I left on the table.
Right.
But am I gonna come to him and say, yo, we know each other, so in future business, if it ain't on a literal monetary value, throw me a real alley-oop to really make that money. I know him differently. He got different clients, like Vlad said. But now, if he comes to me, I'm gonna be like, yo, ain't nobody doing shit for free in the pandemic. You gotta pay a cameraman, you gotta pay audio dude, you gotta pay the location, you gotta pay this. Vlad is in a different space. He pays tax brackets differently, so he can write his books differently. He don't gotta say that. Let's keep it frank. But now ain't nobody, what's the worst thing you could say? Hey Vlad, give me an interview. When I get on, I got you. How many times you heard that bullshit? Matt, how many times you heard that?
I turn it down every time.
No, but how many times you hear it?
Mad times.
How many times you hear it?
I turn him down every time.
Has anybody came back that made it?
One guy.
Who?
One guy.
Who?
Signed an NDA.
No, he's famous. He came back. Give him his flowers.
Signed
We
an
are
NDA.
getting past the point.
Okay.
Is there any footage that you regret putting out?
If I put it out, I stand behind it. Now, saying that, I'll wait until silence pass. Saying that, society changes, right? You look at Eddie Murphy's Raw and Delirious, where he's saying faggot and stuff like that. That just doesn't fly anymore.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He couldn't do that same stand-up right now.
He couldn't.
No,
No
never
comedian
fly.
could, actually.
Right.
Not even Dave Chappelle?
Not even Dave Chappelle.
Well, that's,
I
the
think
worst,
he's-
that's the worst F word right now.
I mean, but he's come, I've heard him say it.
Yeah, but he not in the way Eddie Murphy was flipping it in Raw. He's right.
But
Like,
Exactly.
he's been able to insane.
Eddie Murphy was loose with it, bro.
I feel you, but it was like,
it was a
it's
different
like you
temperature.
wash your hands and it's just water coming off your
saying or
hands.
just
Like,
saying it in general?
No. But here's my point. What I'm saying is that we're 14 years in business now.
Right.
There is some stuff that some of our guests have said in our earlier interviews that really just don't fly these days.
Like what?
You know what I'm saying? Daylight said some ignorant shit.
Oh, you want to
about-
have sex with Diddy?
Well, no.
I remember that.
That was just comedy.
Daylight.
But I remember he said something. There was a comment. I'm not going to repeat it, but there was something he said about if his son was transgender and stuff like that.
What he would do
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that type of shit don't fly anymore. I took that video down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do I regret it? Not exactly, but I just understand that in today's climate, it's just a different, society changes, society moves. And,
Right.
some stuff that was
Cool back then. It's not cool no
relatively
more.
acceptable, not
Yeah.
for a good reason, but it just was for whatever reason in 2022. Nah, it ain't really what to talk about. So listen, that video had its run, and we're gonna retire that video, and no one's gonna see it again.
Being
You know
real,
what I mean?
do you feel like society's becoming altogether too sensitive?
I mean, it's always going to be an overreaction for change, right? In the process of change, you have to overreact, and you have to, put a spotlight on certain things that are wrong. Homophobia, at the end of the day, I think is wrong. If you want to be gay, be gay.
Right.
You know what I mean? They shouldn't be beat up
Right.
or
If you like
take it
mozzarella
to-
sticks, man, it's
yeah,
on you.
if you like mozzarella sticks, eat your
It's on
mozzarella
you,
sticks.
you
You
know
know
what
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying? I have gay employees. You know what I mean? I have gay relatives. Like these are people that I care about. These
Right.
are people that I help support, and they help me out as well. And they're allowed to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
However they want to do it.
It's not like you can stop them.
Well-
In the history of homophobia, never has a homosexual stopped being a homosexual because somebody was mad that they were a homosexual. You're
Well,
never
I
gonna
mean,
stop.
people
You're never
lost
gonna
out.
stop it. I don't even know why you
there's
bother.
there's a lot of kids that grow up kind of confused
Yeah.
on how to be themselves because they feel a certain way,
Yeah,
and they
man.
know that their parents don't support that.
But you're not stopping them from being. You know what I mean? Like you didn't make them straight by hating what they are. That's
But
just
you
not
might have
how
made
it
them
works.
hate themselves.
Right.
Which
That's the
still
problem.
didn't
There
make
you
them
go.
straight.
That's a problem.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right, and so to answer your question, like, yeah, there's some stuff out there that, hey, listen, they didn't age well. That over time we've just retired those videos. Did I wish I'd never done it in the first place? Nah, like I don't. It's not that, but it's like, all right, it had its run. We're done with it,
That's
and
that.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard.